Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the indie.xsplit, that's XSplit, stage. And we're back with my boys from Devolver Digital. We've got JM.
Oh, I gotta stop throwing gang signs.
Yeah, not on this stream.
Maybe.
We're unaffiliated, except for the XSplit gang.
Yeah, I saw you doing it. I just attempted.
It's the only crew.
Did you throw gang signs too?
Yeah, I nearly did.
Yeah. Right? You just like there's just something about being on it's the way you talk. I think you're so from the streets.
Yeah,
you're
me,
so
man.
street
that
it makes me want to throw gang signs that I have
know,
no business even pretending to know.
From the streets of the eastern counties of England. What? You got this guy knows what's up. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
He knows.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good gang you have.
I know, right? Yeah. Me and that guy. We're
hanging
out.
Guy.
Yeah. All day. He knows.
All day.
Yeah.
So this is Chris from XSplit.
Hi, and this is Jan to introduce
Hello.
you. Sorry, how are you doing, sir?
Great. Legs, I can't feel them. Other than that, fantastic.
I like the idea that was beginning as like a status report of like every bit. Legs, can't feel them. Arms, not doing too bad.
You got to keep all the parts in check, you know?
You got to.
Yeah.
Now, I understand you are part of the development of this wonderful game we're going to look at, Ruiner.
Exactly. Ruiner, yeah. You ruin things.
You ruin things. You've summed that. You've answered my next question so quickly.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so what's Ruiner all about?
It's the story of how I affected my parents' life. It has nothing to do with me. I think that's funny.
I'd like to play that game. That would be an emotional journey.
It involves 17 hours of labor. I mean,
wow. Yeah, that's a long. I mean, hey, gameplay value. People worry about that nowadays.
Yeah, how about, not a lot of replayability.
No, once you've done it, you've done it.
If you get at least 17 hours of labor in, that's nice.
That's nice. So let's talk about Ruiner maybe instead.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about this actual game that we have here.
So what is Ruiner all about?
All right, so Ruiner is a top-down action game set in Bangkok, which is a South Asian fictional city. It takes place in 2091, and the story is quite simple. You start out as a guard at a corporation, and some guy hacks your brain and makes you go on a rampage.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've had my brain hacked. I don't do nothing. I just go to sleep.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's really boring. It's just like, oh, go to bed again. I'm like, oh, brain hacks. This guy gets to go out on a rampage.
Yeah. With the excuse of having his brain hacked, right?
Right?
Yeah.
These people these days, who knows?
Yeah, so after get hacked,
I like that you're the serious one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you're like,
stop talking.
Yeah, anyway. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, all right. So right after you're hacked, you're saved by your childhood friend who takes you down to the city and tells you that your brother has been kidnapped. You don't know where he is. And so actually what we're looking at now, the city, this is planned right after the rampage. Or
wow.
Yeah, the rampage
so
itself.
you're coming in like right in the aftermath of like what you've done, ostensibly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have no idea where your brother is. You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're just starting out.
Wow, that is a really strong place to begin a game. Like you've committed like a horrible crime on everyone that you didn't actually initiate or know that you'd done, and now you're just thrown into the aftermath of that.
Actually, we were planning on making the rampage itself the tutorial, so we're hoping it to be it's gonna be a blast.
That's great. That is so great.
I feel like that's the best place to start.
It's a good way to begin, man. As good as any.
All right, so that's your childhood friend that helped you. Yeah.
Nice.
I love the art style on this game.
It's really nice, man.
I'm so into the art on this game.
Who does the art in this game?
Most of the art is done by our art director. His name is Benedict Schneider.
Nice.
Yeah, he used to work in comics before this, and
yeah, you can kind of see that. That is some top-level artwork going down there.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So this feels like it's got quite a strong narrative to it. Like there's a lot of setup and stuff like that, and it feels like
we definitely want to build. We have this whole idea for a world, and I think it'd be a shame, especially since it's a very story-based linear game, not to share it. Yeah.
And this, it's one thing that, because the amount of games that you see, particularly when you're at a convention, like the kind of precedent at the moment seems to be the sort of roguelike games where everything, and it's got a story and it's told for its environment, and that's cool. and that's nice. But there is definitely something to be said for a linear, narrative-driven story where you're actually being told a story created by people.
Yeah, it definitely gives us more control, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also a lot about balance. If you start getting tons of roguelikes, I think the kind of proper response is to make something that's not a roguelike.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of nice to see that coming back, which is nice. For me, anyway, I don't know. People seem to like roguelikes. So what's the core gameplay of this game as we're going through right here? Because
maybe I'll start by talking how we got to our gameplay as it is now. We're working with Devolver. So essentially, what we started off initially was very similar to Hotline Miami. You know,
you can kind of see that in the way it looks at the top-down kind of view.
And as we were kind of working and iterating, at some point we decided to add the dash mechanic. As you'll see later, as you're fighting, you can dash around the battlefield. And we noticed that was the most fun part of the game.
Okay.
So we figured, why not make everything based around it? So from tight corridors, we moved to more open spaces, and now the gameplay essentially often has you in a kind of an arena setting.
Nice.
And essentially, you go through, normal levels, but usually you have like a larger space with some cover and a few enemies you have to dispatch.
Awesome, man. So it looks like the game's kind of opening up a little bit now.
Yeah, sorry I'm not talking. I'm getting really into the game.
You don't worry about that. This looks like a really nice game.
It's so pretty. Look at them traffics.
Yeah, awesome. The cars,
It's just really sort of reminiscent of Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Some other inspirations are also old Japanese animes, Akira, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
We also kind of want to convey the similar themes through the story as well. There's lots of where we're going now is we're looking for the hacker who fried our brain essentially in the tutorial, and so we find out. This
was just good.
Asking the story of the moment for a while.
Helmet.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Wow.
So creepy.
That's amazing.
Isn't that gorgeous? I'm in love with that helmet design.
With this aesthetic and this art style, I haven't really seen this in video games for quite a while. This feels like something that was kind of big in like the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
And it kind of hasn't really come back.
And the games that I've seen that have this kind of, personally, like the role-playing thing, like the Shadowrun did, like Shadowrun Returns, they crowdfunded that a little while ago. But when you get into the actual game, it turns back into turn-based combat, and it goes back to its tabletop roots, which is great because that's its roots. But you've got something like this where you can have that narrative, that quality of narrative, and that level of world flavor, and then when you get into the game, you don't. Dropping into turn-based breaks you out of it.
That's exactly it, and sorry, I speak for you, but from my point of view, I like a turn-based game, but it's kinetic action-based games that I really enjoy. And kinetic action-based games, 9 times out of 10, do not immerse me in a world particularly well or tell me a particularly interesting story. Yeah. And that's it's really rare, and it really is the games that really stand out to me that are like the ones that actually manage to do that, nail an amazing mechanic, whilst at the same time creating a brilliant world.
Yeah, doing both. And I've been enraptured with this since I first got to see it.
Yeah, speaking of the mechanic, we're about to see it on
we're about to see it in action.
Good, about to see me get my butt kicked.
Absolutely amazing, by the way. This is again, I think I'm just too excited about it, but it's really unique. That's the thing. It just looks like anyway, let's have a look at the gameplay before I just go on about artwork and mood and world.
I like these, like this.
Yeah, it just looks really nice, man.
So this is gonna be me trying not to.
This is one of these, I think we've only had a few games come up where I personally have sort of been wow. I'm not sure. I'm just I get that. Yeah. That works.
Yeah. So what we're seeing here now is the short dash, which is Essentially, it's the quicker version of the dash, which lets you quickly move around. But what you also can do is we either call it a long dash or a sequence dash, where you place a few dash markers in place, and it kind of lets you tactically plan out what you want to do.
Boo.
It kind of slows down time. Oh, yeah, the enemies don't hold back.
No, I saw.
2-3 hits, you're dead.
Now, is that stuff flashing up on the screen, like the red stuff where it's saying kill you and things like that, is that purely aesthetic, or is it like sort of narrative?
Well, it's supposed to be what shows up on your mask as your...
That's what I was wondering. Like, because I'd seen the mask earlier, and I was like, oh, is that kind of the stuff there? That's really cool.
All right, I can do better at this. Good lord, no, I can't.
Sure you can, Jay. You can do this.
I beat this earlier.
It's very satisfying to watch somebody... It's either if somebody's really good at your game or he gets really frustrated. One of the two.
You didn't want to say really bad, but I could say they're either really good or... You know, maybe they find it frustrating.
No, because there's a good bad and there's a bad bad. There's a difference. There
is a difference. That's very true. Okay. So at the moment,
try ramming them with the shield. That'll be fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the shield is one of the gadgets we have planned for the game. And so originally it was only blocking range shots, but once we got the dash working, we figured, let's make it also you can ram enemies. It's a logical conclusion, I think.
It makes sense. Like I say, that's it's one of those things where for me, this is exactly the sort of game I like playing, and that is exactly the sort of thing you like doing. It feels ridiculously satisfying just to go into a person. And yeah, this is a really like. How long did it take to come up with like the narrative conceit for this and all that stuff?
Well, we've been working on the game for 1.5 years now, and when it comes to the story, we had a very strong idea of how the world was supposed to be, but for a very long time we didn't have a good idea how to make the story flow well. But I think we have a good idea for how it goes now.
Nice.
I think it's a nice blend of simplicity and a simple story in a complex world. Maybe that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, it feels like if I were a guest, like, just looking at it, well, you're not here today, just tell me. But this feels very tonally driven. Like, I get the sense that you had an idea of, like, a tone and a feel for the world. And it was like, cool, let's build everything around that. Because the tone and the feeling in this is really strong.
Yeah, so for example, the people we were fighting right now, the way they tie into the story is that a lot of the world we have is based on current technologies and trends, and kind of taken to the extreme. So one of the things we kind of want to look at is in China you have the have the child policy where you can't have too many children.
Yes.
And in this city, there's a very similar law in that you can have only 2 children, and the third is taken by the government. And so usually they're taken off by the government, but some of them get taken back by gang bosses. And in this case, this is a group of third children taken in by a gang boss. And the way they make money and support themselves is by protecting people who pay them money. And so the target you're trying to eliminate paid them money to protect them. And so what you're doing now is going through their hideouts, eliminating them just to get to your target.
That's awesome. So I'm just sat here like listening to that as a story and be like, oh, so the third child's taken away with the gun, and then people still, yeah, that's awesome.
We can't really hear the music right now, but the music in this part is this really beautiful, brutal, tribal drumming that has been
hitting.
It's so nice. Oh, did it just come up a little bit?
It did, yeah. Got the guy in the mix for it. He's getting that. Who makes the music for you guys?
So we have a few different composers. We have, in general, we were looking through the tracks online and finding composers we like and contacting them. So when it comes to the city soundtrack, it's much more peaceful, and we essentially are talking with the licensing studio for Susumu Hirasawa, and we're hoping to get some of the songs to use in the city.
Yeah.
Most of the songs you hear during the combat are taken from other electronic and techno labels.
Nice, man. So how much, like, is there to the game? Like, in terms of how much play you can get out of it, how much depth, and, like, I don't want you to put, like, a specific number on how long the game is, But is it a game that you're going to go through like 7 or 8 times, or is it the sort of game that you're going to dedicate a ton of time to trying to get your way through the story?
I think I spent a lot of time trying to get through the game. One of the kind of the core ideas is we want the game to be insanely hard. Like even JM, he played it before, and he's still having a hard time.
Yeah.
Hell, when we were showcasing it to the press a while back, we couldn't beat the boss to show.
You couldn't beat the boss to show them the end.
Like we could at some point,
awesome.
but since we haven't been playing the game daily, we kind of went a bit out of loop and we couldn't beat him.
It's amazing. So yeah, this is the sort of game that's not going to hold your hand.
Yeah.
If the developers are trying to show the press how to beat a boss and they can't do it, reasonable indicator that this game might be a
we
bit
got to
hard.
it after a while. Yeah. Don't worry. But like,
no, like we couldn't do it all. I mean, we don't know how it works. We got no idea.
Yeah, we've never seen the ending.
we didn't make it. We just kind of found it.
It fell back from the future.
Yeah, that was it. This is a prophecy.
You got new karma clearance.
Yeah, so the karma clearance ties in and kind of what you meant with the replayability.
Yes.
In a sense, although Dash is the core gadget, we kind of want to let the player experiment with different gadgets available. So currently, what he has equipped is the shield, which is very dynamic. You can move around with it and dash with it. But as you gain clearance levels, you'll have access to new gadgets. One of which we currently have planned is a static shield. So instead of holding it, you lay it down on the ground, and it not only takes the hits, but absorbs them and knocks them back at the enemies.
Nice, man. I do like that you seem to be able to pick up like pipes and all sorts of stuff just from the floor.
In general, when it comes to especially ranged weapons, one of the cool things you can do is once you're killing a ranged enemy, you can grab the gun out of the air. And what we created, I like to call it like a cool base of cool moments, in the sense of when we kind of have a few situations which we call cool moments, when we intentionally slow down the time when they happen. So for example, when you grab a weapon in mid-combat, it always slows down time, so you have kind of time to reposition. It always feels great when you grab a shotgun and just immediately turn over and take 2 guys down.
That's
it's
amazing.
Great.
Yeah, well, it's those sorts of moments that make these kind of games. Like, for me, when I play these kind of games, it's those moments that are sort of a story within the game, just in a moment. Like you say, where you've grabbed a shotgun and turned around and taken 2 people out from them. That's the stuff I like. And
yeah, we're hoping to make tons of moments like that.
It's mildly frustrating you.
But I'm not mad at the game. I'm mad at me right now.
That's the thing as well. That is a very important thing.
Don't worry, you'll learn, you'll get stronger, and you'll get better, man.
You can do it.
Yeah.
We both believe in you.
Thanks.
We both believe in you and love you, Jay. You can do this. He's leaning in.
Yeah,
okay, you got this.
It's intense, man.
It definitely doesn't feel like I'm casually just...
No.
Dang it.
Yeah, generally the best way to deal with ranged guys is to ram him with a shield. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Always the best thing to do.
I was trying. Can you not ram if you're already too close to them?
What was your role in the game, man?
So I am a junior game designer / programmer. It's a small team, so jobs constantly jump around. But I'm mostly responsible for the the actual fighting gameplay here.
Yeah. So you're in charge of a pretty core part of the game.
Yeah, but I'm not like the main designer who is there over in the booth.
Yeah, you're too modest. Well, it wasn't really me.
I don't want to,
Wow, apocalyptic announcements coming through the headset. They're closing the expo hall. Good lord. In 5 minutes, so they scream. It's like the dystopia we find ourselves in. Nice. How many of you are there in the team then, man? You said it's quite a small team.
Yeah, right now we have 14 people.
Wow.
Altogether, yeah. And
are you all based like in the same place, or do you work like remote? Or?
Yeah, well, most of the people are working in a single office, but we have a few people who work from home.
Yeah.
And
you're getting there, Jay. You're getting there. And I like all the environmental storytelling and stuff that's going on in the background, and like just little things like the stuff running around, like the posters that are all sort of ripped and gotten rid of. You can do this. I believe in you.
Thanks.
We've got mere minutes before actual PAX closes. So
Has it already been half an hour?
Yeah, we got 4 minutes left, man. This whole thing is now.
All right,
just
another
dedicated
gadget I
to
can
doing
quickly
it.
mention you can use.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, with a middle mouse button, throw grenades.
Nah,
What?
You could have done that this whole time.
I just had the one too. Perfect.
It also uses energy, so it's not like a
Oh,
free power
I
up.
get it. It's an okay.
But it might help you deal with the shield guys, since it turns off their shield.
What are you like? It might. I'm just saying.
If I remember to use it.
Oh, nice. Okay, now we're in business. Now you're doing well.
Come on, help. Oh, you are a jerk and nobody likes you.
Good. Solid taunting there, Jay.
Yeah, thanks. I can get a little personal.
He gets a little
Seems he was unfazed by that, though, sadly.
So as we are coming close to the end, man, is there anything else like about this game that we haven't touched on that you'd like to talk about? I don't normally ask many people that. I'd like to just direct, but just this is a really cool game, and I sort of want to hear more about it.
Sure. You know, I can quickly talk about another cool story thing we really like.
Yes, please. Man.
We were really interested in the whole VR trend. So we
Yeah.
kind of thought, you know, what can we push further? So the first thought was, okay, so, you know, we can have virtual reality where your senses are connected to your body.
Yeah.
That was the first step. So, you know, you go into a virtual world and it feels like you're really there. But then another thought came. What if you could send somebody else's brainwaves to your head and experience what it's like to be them? So what formed is that the corporation you work for is one of their main things is producing these virtuality entertainment chambers, in which whoever goes, you have actors who go into special chambers and they play out roles in virtual worlds, which are then sent to your brain,
And you can then experience that.
you feel you are the actor playing in the thing. So you get to experience what it's like, for example, to be a stuntman or an action celebrity.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
it's very strange days.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is another.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the darker secrets of a corporation, you find out there's a whole like hidden.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew. I don't want no spoilers.
Yeah, we don't want spoilers, man. You gotta save that stuff up. It sounds like there's a ton of that stuff in the game as well. Which is
Yeah,
amazing.
totally.
When can people get their hands on this game?
Fall 2016.
Nice, that's not too far off.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. And do you have any idea on what systems it's going to be launching on, or what you can say and stuff like that?
Sure. So currently we're aiming for PC, so Windows, Mac, Linux.
Nice.
If the game sells well, we'll definitely do consoles. But we definitely want to add controller support before consoles.
Yes.
So if you want to play on PC with a controller, you're free to do so.
Awesome, man. Nice. Where can people go to find out more information? I know Devolver will be talking about it.
Yeah.
All the time.
So
Awesome
we have
game.
a website, ruinergame.com.
Awesome.
And you can also follow our Twitter.
Nice. Where will that be?
That would be also, I believe, Ruiner Games.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, man. This game looks
Thank you.
amazing. I love the world. And yeah, the gameplay just feels ridiculously solid and fun.
Oh,
And to end on a death. Bravo.
so
Thank you very
close,
much, man. Thank
Oh,
you so
man.
much. I must say, it's been really good. And that brings us to a close here today on day 2 of PAX East here on the Indie.XSplit stage. Everyone's waving. They're all waving
Bye,
back.
people of Earth.
Yay!
Goodbye.
We'll be back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, with even more indie games. We're going to be talking to all sorts of cool people. So you join us here again tomorrow. We're going to have a good time. Say goodbye. We're saying goodbye as well to all the people on the Devolver Digital channel. Saying goodbye to everyone on Team Spooky who's watching right now. Spooky over there. He's loving that. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. The Expo Hall is closed.
The Expo Hall
We'll
is
see you
closing.
all.
Run for your lives.
Run. The Expo Hall is closed and the dogs are being unleashed. We'll see you all tomorrow. We love you. Goodbye. Mwah.